Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to our Speak Smart English family. Today's story isn't just for your listening practice. It's a story that will touch your heart and inspire you deeply. It's our tale about the profound truth that nothing is truly free. This narrative will reveal the true cost of success. Our main character is a young man named Aryan. He was just 20 years old and lived in a small, peaceful town. Aryan's dream was exceptionally grand. He wanted to become a highly successful entrepreneur, owning a chain of renowned restaurants. However, his life was far from easy. Aryan's family was experiencing financial strain. His father, Rohan, toiled as a mechanic, and his mother, Priya, cleaned houses to help them make ends meet. His younger sister, Mira, looked up to him as her ultimate hero. One cold evening, Aryan sat alone, gazing at the stars. He whispered to himself, "I want to give my family a better life, but how do I even begin when we have so little?" This was a simple question, yet it was the catalyst that would change his life forever. The very next day, Aryan shared his big dreams and his deep worries with his father, Rohan. Rohan listened carefully. "Aryan, listen closely. Dreams are never free gifts. They demand your ambition. If you truly want something, you have to fight for it. Start with whatever you possess, no matter how small it seems. Action is what truly begins everything." Aryan understood this deeply. He started looking for an opportunity. He noticed that the people in his town loved fresh bread, but they had to travel a long distance to a bakery to get it. This was his opportunity. He decided, "I will start selling fresh bread right here in my town." However, there was a major hurdle. He didn't have the capital to buy the bread initially. This was a significant problem. Aryan decided to take a risk on his integrity. Aryan quickly made his way to the distant bakery to meet the owner, Mr. Wallace. Mr. Wallace was known to be a grumpy and skeptical man who rarely trusted anyone. Aryan gathered his courage and presented his proposal to him. "Aryan, Mr. Wallace, I want to sell your bread in my town. I believe I can significantly increase your business. However, I have a temporary predicament. I don't have the upfront payment for the bread." Mr. Wallace's eyes were filled with doubt. "Mr. Wallace, and why should I trust you? This business doesn't run without money." Aryan, "Sir, you should trust me because my integrity is my only guarantee. I will sell all the bread within 1 week, return your full payment, and keep only a small profit. If I fail, I promise never to come here again." Mr. Wallace remained silent for a long time. Then he conceded. "Mr. Wallace, all right, you have 1 week. If you fail, don't bother coming back here. Go and prove yourself." Aryan was thrilled. He had won his first big challenge. The very next morning, Aryan began his daily hustle. He carried the bread back to town and set up his small stand near the park. He greeted every passerby with sincerity and enthusiasm. Fresh bread, warm and delicious. At first, people were hesitant, but Aryan showed great ingenuity. He offered free samples. The taste of the bread, combined with Aryan's sincere smile, quickly won them over. His first customer arrived, then another, and by the end of the day, he had sold every single loaf. That night, he returned to Mr. Wallace and paid him in full. Mr. Wallace saw his commitment and respected his integrity. From that day on, Aryan's schedule became relentless. He woke up at 4 a.m. every day, brought the bread, and sold it with immense passion. After 2 months of this hard work, he had saved enough money to buy a small cart. This upgrade was a game changer. He could now transport more bread with less exertion. His business was gaining momentum. One day, an admiring customer offered Aryan some valuable advice. "Aryan, you're excellent at selling. But if you learn to bake your own bread, your profit would multiply exponentially. This idea was both tempting and scary. Baking? He had never even cooked anything in his life. This was a huge risk. In that moment, he understood a crucial lesson for his life. Nothing is free. Not success, not knowledge, and certainly not personal growth. If he wanted to truly succeed and grow his business, he had to take the risk and master a new, difficult skill. He knew he needed a mentor. The next morning, after his payment, Aryan approached Mr. Wallace. "Sir," he asked, "can you please teach me how to bake?" Mr. Wallace looked at him with suspicion. "Mr. Wallace, why would I teach you? If you learn to bake, you won't buy my bread anymore. That's bad for my business." Aryan responded with sincerity. "Sir, you're right, but I promise never to forget the man who gave me my first chance. If I succeed, I will support your bakery too." Wallace thought for a moment, then saw Aryan's integrity and vision. "Mr. Wallace, fine, but baking isn't easy. It requires time, patience, and hard work. If you're ready for that, I will teach you." Aryan's apprenticeship began at 3 a.m. His mentor, Mr. Wallace, meticulously taught him everything: how to mix the flour, how to knead the dough perfectly, and how to bake the bread until it was golden. However, Aryan faced many struggles. His hands ached from kneading. His bread often came out disastrous, either too hard or too soft. This was a significant setback. One day, after ruining yet another batch of bread, Aryan sat down, feeling completely defeated. He thought, maybe I'm not good enough for this. Maybe I should give up. But then, his father's powerful words echoed in his mind. Dreams are not free. He realized that every mistake was not a failure. It was a valuable lesson teaching him how to improve. Giving up was simply not an option. The next day, he returned with renewed determination. He focused on every single step. Slowly, his bread began to improve. 2 weeks later, Mr. Wallace handed him a perfectly baked loaf and said, "Aryan, you are ready." Aryan was overjoyed. He rented a small oven and began baking his own bread at home. Aryan's family was amazed by his hard work. His business grew, and he rented a small shop, which he proudly named the Golden Loaf. However, success always brings competition. A new, larger bakery opened in town, owned by a young man named Zane. Zane's shop was very fancy and had a modern sophistication. People were curious and started buying from Zane's shop instead. Aryan's sales began to drop. Aryan felt scared, but instead of panicking, he decided to strategize. He started to analyze what was happening by asking his customers for feedback. He asked, "What do you like about Zane's bakery? How can I be better?" People said that Zane's shop looked cleaner and his cakes had more attractive designs. Aryan realized that he needed to evolve, not just as a baker, but as a businessman. He decided to adapt. He repainted his shop, changed the decorations, and learned new cake designs by watching videos in the library. Slowly, his customers returned. They saw Aryan's courage and commitment. The Golden Loaf became the heart of the town. But life had one final test for him. One stormy night, as he was closing his shop, a fire started near his oven. Aryan quickly extinguished the flames, but much of his essential equipment was damaged. The next morning, there was doubt in the town. Will Aryan give up now? Aryan was heartbroken, but his spirit remained unbroken. He stood outside his damaged shop and declared, "This is just a challenge. I have faced struggles before, and I will conquer this too. I will never surrender." He took a deep breath and began to strategize. He realized his savings were not enough. In a moment of vulnerability, he sought advice from the retired Mr. Wallace. "Sir," he asked, I need your wisdom. What would you do in my place?" Mr. Wallace smiled gently. "Aryan," he said, "you already know the answer. You have taught this entire town that nothing is free. Keep working harder, believe in yourself, and people will believe in you too. Your courage is your capital." Inspired, Aryan decided to rebuild. He didn't wait for a miracle. He started baking at home again with the few tools he had left. He promised his customers that he would continue to serve them. The townspeople saw Aryan's determination. They realized that this young man deserved help. They donated money, ingredients, and volunteered to help repair the shop. After months of hard work, the golden loaf reopened, better than ever before. Aryan thanked everyone and said, "You have shown me that nothing is free, not success, not respect, and not even the love you have given me. Everything must be earned with hard work, patience, and persistence." Aryan's story leaves us with 4 invaluable lessons for every English learner. 1. Dreams need action. Fluency in English is not free. It requires daily practice and consistent hard work. 2. Mistakes are teachers. Every mistake in grammar or pronunciation is not a failure. It's valuable feedback that helps you improve. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. 3. Help yourself first. When you show sincere effort, your teachers, friends, and the community will naturally support you on your journey. 4. Never stop. The darkest moments of struggle are often just before the dawn of your success. Aryan didn't just build a successful bakery. He built a life full of pride and purpose. And you can do the same. Whatever your ambition is, whether it's speaking English fluently, securing a better career, or changing your life, chase it with courage and conviction. Remember, nothing is truly free. But with courage and consistent effort, everything is ultimately possible.